guys, welcome to episode 4 of Dash and Holmesy Take Your Hearts. I'm one of your hosts, Dash, along with my co-host, Holmesy. How are you, Holmesy?
I am doing exceptionally well, dude. How are you?
Good, man. This is, let's break the 4-4 a little bit here, because you're drinking from a rupee mug.
Yeah. Check it out.
Oh my god. So, let's break the 4-4 a little bit. We are streaming for the first time live on Mixer. Holmesy being a Twitch guy, of course, he says, I feel dirty, and that's fine. He's wearing a Twitch hoodie, by the way.
If you're on the podcast. You can't see this if you're on the podcast or you're listening to the podcast right now. I'm wearing purple. It's bad.
He's wearing a Twitch hoodie on Mixer, but that's okay. I forgive him. So yeah, we are live on Mixer for this episode. We are trialing this, as I said, in the past episodes of Dash Culture. If you listen to that, I am trialing like a live streaming our podcast at the moment. So this is another trial test with Dash and Holmesy Take Your Hearts. Of course, Holmesy, how are you feeling about doing this live?
I mean, I feel pretty much the same. I know that there's like obviously we're chatting the side as well. So if anything comes up, we'll take a look at that at the very end. But like this is feel much of the same. Although I gotta say, if you're on the podcast right now, please go to mixer.com/dashgamer and watch this back, because Dash has set up some freaking killer visuals and transitions for this, and it is schmick. So if you got some eyeballs to look at some stuff, go and stimulate them on that.
We'll probably chuck the VOD over on 8-Bit's YouTube channel, so you guys can check that out later on. Cool. But guys, if you didn't know, Dash and Holmesy is our tri-weekly book club inspired gaming podcast, where Holmesy will dive into Persona 5 and all, basically go over it with him and see how he's going, and talk about it with you guys. So that's every 3 weeks, and we'll dissect it. You can also check it out over on dashandholmesy.com or soundcloud.com/dashandholmesy, or over on iTunes, where you can give us a cheeky 5-star rating, and also catch us exclusively every 3 weeks with our hungry family over at 8bit.net. Holmesy, let's jump into the game.
Yeah.
So give me a date. Where are you up to?
I realized I was just looking at it and I'm like, I can't recall the exact date that I was up to now. I'm pretty sure it's early June, like I think maybe the 4th of June.
Okay.
Possibly.
Yep.
We've just gotten past Madarame's change of heart.
Yep.
So he's had his big televised announcement and apology conference and all that.
Yep.
So we've gone past that. We've done a couple of small mementos. We've done a couple of small like confidant grinds with Ryuji and Sojiro, and that's pretty much all I've done. Like at the very end of it, but we've made a bit of progress from before. I was in his palace or his museum.
Very cool.
Before, and we've just gone through the fight. Yeah.
Okay. So through that, have you how are your feelings right now towards you've battled the boss fight as well. So how are your feelings now that you've done your second boss fight compared to the first one? Because you actually spoke about this right before we started. I want to hear your thoughts. So give me those thoughts.
So I mean, gone through. I really liked Madarame's palace. I liked his palace.
Oh yeah, you got past that little hurdle there that I was talking about. So when you got to that really weird part, what did you think of that?
That was easy. That was super easy. I got into that and it was like I got one of the Sayori guesses wrong, and then some dude came out and like wrecked like half the health on my whole team or whatever, because they got like a crit on, what was it? They got a weak damage on An, and then they got a crit on another character, and then they got like there was a group of them, basically like they knocked out a whole bunch of my health, and I'm like, okay, well I'm not dead, but that's kind of shit. So I nuked that, and I'm like, okay, so if I get these guesses wrong, there are consequences.
Yeah.
And then I ended up looking at it properly, and I'm like, well, the Sayori's got like, it's like it's supposed to be a red sweater. Her hair's like on this side of her shoulder, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then like I kept like looking through them, and I think I had like maybe 2 wrong guesses, and I just kept making my way through. But like it was that bit was cool. I actually really liked that. That was fun.
Awesome.
There was just a really big negative space if you got it wrong. So there was it made me want to get it right even more than what you need to anyway.
Yeah. So so tell me, so you passed the distortion, like that's the weird distortion part. So like you experienced that now twice in from Kamoshida now to Madarame's palace as well. Between the two palaces now that you've experienced, tell me the pros and cons of both. Like how do you feel between Kamoshida's palace and Madarame's palace, the differences and the positives and the negatives that have come out of both?
Cool. I mean, I I gotta say, I feel like in a little way, maybe the comparison might be unfair because I feel like Kamoshida is more, or Kamoshida, sorry, is more of a here's a space to learn. You got plenty of time to level up and make mistakes. Whereas like Madarame's felt a lot shorter and easy to get through, and there was just like it was just as soon as you pass that what we've described before as like the tutorial phase. As soon as we've gotten through that first bit, that it's like it's it's fast paced. Get your shit done. So that's a pro and con for each of them. Like con for what I felt. The first part went too long. The second one was like perfect. I liked the time it took. However, on the flip side, pro, I liked Kamoshida's fight. Con, I hated Madarame's fight. It was such pain. I hated that fight with a passion. I say with a passion. It was. I gotta say, like, once you powered up enough, if you prepared yourself, and like it does say, like once you put your calling card out, you can't go back. So sure, the game tells you that. That's fine. It's great. I felt prepared. I didn't have any trouble with any pre-fights leading up to the whole thing. But when I got there, I may have forgotten to buy revive or revival beads or like any kind of reviving thing. So like,
all right, yeah.
But I didn't have those for Kamoshida either. So I thought, we can waltz through this. I want easy. But like, I hate being able to like for a boss to be able to revive components of itself and bring them back. It's such a troll. It's such a pain, and like getting them when it's got 4 different pieces that can act independently and debuff you, buff itself, do damage, and revive. Like I figured it out, but then you've also got to figure out the weaknesses for them. And like there's 4 different parts. What you don't realize in the start is every single part is really just almost you don't know whether the 2 different eyes have different weaknesses or if the nose has a weakness or the mouth. But really, the mouth takes magic damage and everything else takes physical damage. But I spent so fucking long figuring it out. I'm just like, when will this end?
I get you. So we're seeing it right now on the stream. So basically, what you saw, like, so I had to learn that too. So my first run through of the game, I actually had to learn basically that. No, I didn't even learn that. I was like punching them, kicking them, everything like I could. Like I was whipping, like as you say, whipping them. And then I was like, why the fuck is it not working? What is happening? Why can't I get these eyes to actually go down?
They get health back too. That's what cucked me,
So every time you use something wrong, the eyes will probably get its health back, or the mouth will get its health back, or whatever. And then, like, it took me a little while, then I figured it out, and I'm exactly like you. I was frustrated as fuck when I found out about this. However, you have to admit, it's a smart tactic, because then afterwards you're actually figuring it out. It is something that frustrates you because you think, oh fuck, this could have been a lot easier. But I get exactly what you're saying.
Once I got it, like I literally it was just like AoE or like blanket attacks. So my 3 main characters, like Morgana did nothing for me. I could have done the whole thing without Morgana. Stupid cat. However, I used Morgana. I say that Morgana has media, so she was able to was able to heal everyone in like one go. So that was good, like a blanket heal. I have a persona, the little pot guy, I can't remember his name, for Senpai. And he's also got media, so I'd do like bulk heals, and then I'd do Rampage with Ryuji to do like heaps of damage to the eyes and the nose, and then the mouth would just heal. I'd be like, whatever. All I wanted to do was clear the top 3 with physicals, and then do magic to the mouth, and then we're done. Right. But it just the debuffs, man, like far out. It just it was such a like you needed revives. I needed revives. But after I lost that fight 3 times, and then I was like, okay, I give up. Gonna go back to. I actually rolled back to the morning prior.
Oh right.
Because it gave me the option to retry the fight, go from your last save, reload next morning, or like previous morning. Sorry. So I went previous morning. I went to the airsoft shop, bought I kitted my dudes out because I had like 100k in yen. So I kit everything out and then went to the fight, and then first try after that I got through it, but it was still hard.
So I should ask now, because you just said that you went to the airsoft shop. How is your relationship? How are your confidants running right now with Iwai and the doctor and all that stuff? Have you like made any new ones while we've been in between shows or anything like that, or?
I've worked on Sojiro's. Like every time I come back to the coffee shop, I'll always like catch up with him if I can. Otherwise, if it says like I can't, if it says my bond won't grow, then I'll just say like, I don't want to work with you. I'm gonna go study, and I'll do study and get like knowledge up. But I've actually put this down as a point I wanted to talk about, because like my favorite character in the whole game so far, Ryuji. Ryuji is my favorite.
Ryuji,
yeah, relatable AF. He's just got like the best dialogue. He's you can like his character development and like his change from being like, it's this punk kid that no one likes to being like, I'm actually gonna be reasonable and resolve disputes in a I can't think of the right word to describe this.
Right.
A level-headed way. He's just I just like how he's changed in like not even the first 2 chapters of the game.
Yeah.
He's already changed tons. So like I really like Ryuji's character, but he's like level 7 now for my confidant because every time I get a chance to do stuff with him, I'm like, yes, let's hang out every time. Let's go get ramen.
Hey, so from now Sojiro to Ryuji. Now, obviously, your favorite character has changed within the game so far.
Yeah.
So tell me, so you were a level 7 with Ryuji right now? Yeah.
Level 7 with Ryuji. I think I might be level 5 with Sojiro. But I only think I'm level 5 with Sojiro because I may not have known about the opportunities to speak to him in the start.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of times where I see that he can't be leveled up like by hanging out with him, so I just kind of don't.
Okay, fair enough. So I will tell you that later on in the game you'll find out there's a little path that you'll take to get to know Sojiro a little further on, like how you've liked him as your daddy, I guess, so far, Daddy Sojiro. You will find that there will be a path later on that you will open. Thanks, Miss Sally Hart, for the follow.
Hey.
So you will find that there is something along the lines of more paths as you go on to learn about some of your characters that you really want to know more about, deepen your bond with them as well. And I feel that Sojiro is one of those where you will definitely appreciate how much you learn from this guy. Like, you keep telling him, oh, he's my favorite character because he's Daddy Sojiro. You will find out that Daddy Sojiro has a lot to help you with as you go through the game further down the line.
I figured that was a fair bit. There's like, because he keeps getting like these mysterious phone calls and stuff, and he's got like this second life that you don't see outside of the coffee shop. And it's like, who's calling him? Who's got his number? Why is this lady trying to find him? And like, why is he so worried? Like, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff, man.
Yeah, so it wasn't one of my favorite questions. One of my questions was, has your favorite character changed again? Because we do say that every episode, and I do ask that every episode. So obviously Ryuji is now your favorite character in the game, which is really cool. What I should ask is, have you been upgrading any personas? Have you been like fusing them or anything like that?
I haven't yet, and I actually made a conscious effort at the moment not to, because I feel like the personas I've got a really good balance of different elemental damage. And like the other day, I can't remember what the persona is, but I got nuclear damage.
Oh, right.
So I've got one with one of those, and I'm like, this is fucking sick, because I've never used that elemental damage yet. And one of the characters, or one of the enemies, funnily enough, on the way through Madarame's palace, is a it was like the big tall the tall kind of paper guy, like looks like paper. He's kind of got like the sort of like hammerhead looking. And he's like really, really tall and lanky dude. Like towards the end of Madarame's palace, he's like sort of mini boss. Yeah. He took no physical damage. He was normal magic or normal like elemental damage, but nuclear was like super effective.
Yes.
Or like he was weak to it basically. Yeah. So I used that, and I just go like, it was just nuclear all out, and like knocked him super easy. So I just want different personas of each, and the ones that I can fuse right now aren't going to be that much better anyway. So I've kind of held off and just tried to keep like an even field for the moment. I want to get some doubles and then maybe fuse those.
Have you been grinding mementos at all?
You know what? I haven't yet. I should have maybe gone back into that, but the point that I'm at right now, like I've just been given, I think, another task or like another one to look into. Aside from there's like a little side quest I'm involved in right now where I had to call a maid.
Oh, yes.
Man, this game and the subtle / not so subtle sexual, just anything, like this character's name starts with an M, as in like the M in S&M. Like, what's S&M? Like, oh, that's secret. Like, come on, man. Fuck, how blatant can you be about this?
It's
like,
so good, though.
All these innuendos or like plays on words and euphemisms. It's just, oh my god.
It's so good. So, you can talk about it. What happened basically? What was the gist?
So
yeah.
Basically, at a point in the game, we get a flyer in. I think Ryuji gets a flyer in his letterbox about a maid service.
Yep.
And so he comes up to Senpai, my character.
Senpai Weeaboo.
Yeah. And he starts talking about like, oh, what are we gonna like, maybe we should find out what this is about. You want to go in and check it out? And then Mishima overhears it and he's like, I want in on this.
Yeah.
And like they're talking about what the maid service involves, like, or maybe they're gonna clean the house, or maybe they're gonna do cooking, and it's just like, wonder what else they can do, kind of shit. Like, there's no nudge nudge wink wink kind of stuff, but it's like there's quotation marks, so you know what they're trying to insinuate.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man. And then it's your teacher. When I saw that, I was like, what the we sprung our teacher. She's like kicking nurse lady out, like, oh no, nurse, kicking maid lady outside of school.
So obviously this opens up your relationship now with your teacher a little bit more. I can't remember.
Yeah, it does.
I can't really recall whether the bond opens up before or after this. I think it might have been in between, somewhere in between. Like, I think it might have been after this. Might have opened your bond.
I think this is where it's kind of like starts, because like she just does like the whole teach stuff in the start, and then you get that and you bump into her and she's like, oh hey.
Sup?
So you want me to cook for you or what?
Yeah, it's funny. I was gonna say though, like when she walked in, what did you? So you had 3 choices when she walked in.
I can't remember what I said.
This is what's coming up on.
Oh, it's on here. I'll tell you. It's coming up.
It's about to come up. Anyway, so like when she did walk in, so she says like stuff like "Welcome home, master."
Yeah, I saw the master thing. I'm just like, oh, yep, this is right up my. Totally joking, by the way.
Yeah. This is what she said. Hello, can I request someone else? Nice.
Oh no, I said nice to me out you. I said the bottom one. Yeah, hell yes.
Oh my god.
We're gonna get along really well. And she's like doing the whole cat thing.
Oh,
she's your teacher.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn.
No, that's good.
Yeah. No, that was,
so
yeah.
This basically, this is.
You look young, master.
Well, so what? Yeah, what did you choose? Did you tell? Yeah, like I'm a dad.
Oh, I said I'm in college.
Oh, you said I'm in college.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to be some weird dude being like, yeah, I'm a dad. Like I'm super young and I'm a dad, but I didn't want to say I was a school kid because it said don't let them know you're a student, otherwise they might not clean your dishes.
Clean your dishes. Clean your dishes.
You might not find out about the other services.
Oh my god. Anyway, so the good thing is that now you've opened up your up your bond with your teacher. And this is another important stretch of the. Ooh, my camera's going. This is another important stretch of the game as well that you will run into, which is good. So the thing is, every single bond that you do make throughout the game is important. However, there are a couple bonds in the game that'd be like there. But your teacher one is another one that's important. You got to when you're reading some of these relationships in the game, most of them tend to be like from some that are just strangers that you meet, and some that you want to help. But there are some that will be like, as I said, Sojiro, who's Daddy Sojiro, teacher and everything. These are more closer bonds that you should strengthen, because they will, along the lines, help you as you go. So, like, for example, when you do strengthen your bond and it does come up with those things like, we'll help you with, like, you've rank 5 and now you've got this experience, and also depending on how you answer questions, and the little music notes that come off the top of their head.
Yeah, you get like points for their relationship, right? Or
right.
Like their confidant, yeah.
As long as you're answering the questions right to them, and you get those musical notes, you will unlock those things that you can use in battle. So, for example, Lady Anne, as you kind of unlock more stuff with her, you will unlock more experience points with her, which will in turn unlock more powers or features that you can use. So, for example, hold-ups, you will find that she'll use like sexy technique to tell these enemies to like, oh, come on. Like if you get an answer, like if you're interrogating an enemy.
She'll be like heaps cute to get your way with like getting stuff, right?
Yes,
yeah, cool.
She'll help you out. So like if you answer something wrong, she'll turn around and be like, come on, cutie, don't be like that. And you'll be like, and the boss will be like, well, I can't be so angry at a lady. So it's something like that that'll happen, So there are things like that, which is, funny, but also will help you during your time through the game. Now, any other confidants that you've been building, or?
Not so much really. Like Ryuji and Sojiro have been like the main ones. Igor, I know, went up, I think, as well. Like little, like he might have gone up in the meantime. Just like for Cat, like doing, like going back to what's the place? Is this Shadow Realm?
Oh, you're talking about the Shadow Realm.
Shadow Realm. What is called?
No. Wait, the metaverse. Are you talking about going to his Velvet Room?
That one, yeah, when you
The
go in there
Velvet
to
Room.
do you got the infusing stuff. I'm pretty sure that went up in the meantime throughout the palace. So I know that one's gone up.
Okay, cool.
But they're like the main ones really. Like I know I can't. There's so many character names, so I'm sorry that I can't tell you.
No, that's all right.
But
That's okay.
I know like the clinic. Nothing's gone up there. They're like the three main ones that have really kind of moved at all. Like yeah, Igor, Ryuji, and Sojiro.
Have you been visiting the clinic though to get medicines for when you jump back into the metaverse?
I did after losing 3 times. Yeah, I went
Of
back
course.
and I was just like, right, I have 120k in money to spend, so let's just go and grab stuff. And I bought I think I bought 10 of like the like full heal across the whole party, and then 10 like half heals, and I kitted everything. Like all my weapons are the best ones now that you can get at my level, and so I have been doing that in the meantime.
Oh, very cool. That's good. That's good. So my next question would be Yusuke. Obviously, you were introduced to Yusuke as you were heading into the second palace. How has your relationship with him? So your relationship won't grow strong your bond won't grow as strong just yet until you've passed. Now you've passed Madarame's palace. As you pass Madarame's palace, your relationship with Yusuke now will strengthen. But how are you finding his character? Like how have you interacted with his character so far?
I like who he is. Like I like who he's kind of like turned out to be. He was a bit of a weird character in the start when he's like, he's kind of, snuggled up with Madarame kind of thing, and he was, very close and defensive with him because he was the person that brought him up. But like, I like, there's things that I like and things I don't like. I like how, and I've used this term with Ryuji before, but like also with I guess Yusuke, he's very level-headed and well-mannered about everything.
Yep.
That voice though, yeah, his voice acting is fantastic. By the way,
Matthew fucking Mercer, dude. Do you know who that is?
I do not.
Okay, so Matthew Mercer voices like he's the DM for Critical Role. Have you ever heard Critical Role?
I've heard of them. Yeah.
So Matthew Mercer does Critical Role, but he voices so many big things these days. He actually so Troy Baker. Who's the voice actor for Joel in The Last of Us.
Yep.
He originally was in Persona 4. He voiced the Ryuji type character in Persona 4 called Kanji. He was the original voice actor for that. And Troy was pretty much done like a lot of Atlas games before he started getting big roles. I'm talking like a Persona 4 Catherine. He was the main protagonist in Catherine as well. So a lot of animes, a lot of weeb games, a lot of that stuff that Troy Baker did back way when, and then all of a sudden he started to get more roles in, like the AAA titles. So they had to replace Troy Baker in all these games, and so the replacement actor for Troy Baker is actually Matthew Mercer. So Matthew Mercer now does a lot of these games as well, but he's a big voice actor now in the industry, and but yeah, he does Yusuke, man.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I do really enjoy like the voice acting for his character is
on point.
Like on point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, like I kind of like how he's changed from him being like super snug with Madarame.
Yeah.
One thing I kind of didn't really understand, but like at the same time, I suppose it's like I don't know whether it was just like meant to emphasize who he is, but like the twist that you learn about like the Sayori painting and like the origin of it and like why he is where he is and who he's with. Like that whole twist after you defeat him, like it was sort of like okay.
Yeah.
Like it was just so like it almost seemed like such a non-event after the fight. Like he finds out about like how his mum died and who's responsible for like not addressing like that impending event that was going to happen. Like someone could have saved her, and like the person standing right in front of him, and it's just like, all right, well, you changed your mind, you changed your heart, like that's cool. Like I was expecting when that came up, like that piece of dialogue, I'm thinking, okay, here we go.
Yeah,
there's going to be some sort of conflict about like Yusuke is going to want to kill him now. He's going to want to like end his life, like kill the character here and like send the real guy like insane. But it was just like, yeah, that's all right, cool, no worries. Yeah, you kill my mom, you kind of suck. Change your mind, you're good, no worries. I mean, like the real one, like obviously, like right thing to do is what he did, and that's great. But like, I feel like for the scale of such knowledge that he finds out in such like in the heat of battle kind of thing, he was too rational. I feel I feel it was a bit of a flawed bit in his character, in my opinion. What do you think about that bit?
So with me, I think Yusuke's character, this is like almost a real life thing, and it really touches me a lot because of like recent events that I've kind of had in my life. I won't go into, but it's a cause of conflict with Yusuke in terms of how do I break apart from somebody that's actually deceived me this whole time? How do I kind of mentally break apart from somebody like that? You can't. If for somebody that's like almost fathered you or, brothered you or whatever it may be for this amount of time, and mentally, how are you able to break apart from them because of how they've wronged you? How, like, it deceived you all this time? And sometimes it's hard to do that. You can't really do that sometimes. You always think of that person. So these kind of things, these kind of psyches and everything that are put into the character of Yusuke is like just strong, and that's why it kind of touches some people sometimes. Whether it be like you recall, whether it be like a family member, a friend, an ex or whatever it may be. That when those kind of people are within your life, and then you kind of see this play out in art. When I talk about games, it kind of recalls to you, and you think of that as well, and that's why like these kind of stories here kind of like touch me a little bit. So yeah, I don't know, the character like Yusuke's conflict really does resonate with me. I really do see a lot of it within me too. Not necessarily his pervy side, just more the cause of conflict he's got in his mind right now towards Madarame. Okay. And I know where he's up to, and I know exactly what his thoughts are right now, as he is right now. So yeah, exactly where you were up to in the game. I love it. I think it's a great artistic look in a way of conflict in a person. So yeah, man. No, look, I love Yusuke's character. Yeah, man. Oh yeah. All right. So yeah. Now, your stats, your guts, your proficiency, your charm, your kindness, and your knowledge. Have you been keeping up?
I have. Yep. There's not been. Oh man, I am sick at smacking baseballs. I'm so good at that. Dude, yeah. I've been doing like I did my little. I kind of got like my routine now. Like my. I did notice like after like this time now, everything that you can do, I felt has become a bit more natural. I know maybe last episode or the episode before. I may have expressed an opinion on the fact that it felt like there was too much and it got a bit overwhelming. Right. But now that I've done this fight and I know what I can do, like I know that there's the bars you can go to, there's like the baseball thing you can go. I've been doing those, but then also like picking up books from the library and like reading them on the train or doing study and stuff. So and like I cheat with the questions you get in class because I don't know this kind of stuff. Like what's this the golden silver bronze ratio? Just like I don't know. Google tell me. But aside from that, like I've been trying to grind through it all as best I can. Like I went to the library and I borrowed a book and I've read it. Now I gotta go take it back and get another one. Right. But, I think 2 of them are like level 2, like my knowledge and I think my charm maybe, and then everything else is level 1 and like moving up. All right. So okay. This is actually good that you're actually working on your stats, because now it'll actually help you out a lot with going into battle with these bosses as well. Once again, actually I should ask, have you noticed as you're growing your stats how your paths are getting a little easier to follow? Like I know it's early days, very early days. Yeah. But have you noticed like battling like bosses or anything like that, or even just enemies having those certain stats go up on your star? Making things a little easier for you, at least? Not yet? Really too much. Like the only thing I've really sort of seen it as a like to be implemented in was like things with communication with different characters, like the guy at the airsoft shop. Like you need to have a certain amount of guts to ask him, like, hey, what's in the bag? Like you need that kind of stuff, or you need like a certain amount of charm to try and like charm someone into doing like X, Y, and Z for you, kind of thing. So I've noticed it in dialogue. I haven't really noticed it benefit me so much in combat. What about so like as you said, so unlocking those paths, have you also noticed what around the area will unlock raise your stats as well? So you obviously know baseball will raise your proficiency. Have you experienced any other activities in the area that has raised your stats yet? Not that I can really recall. No. I mean, if it has, I may not have been paying attention entirely. But the main things I've really been doing is like that. There's like the bars thing, and then like study. Like they're the main kind of things I've been doing, and like reading. I've not really explored too much.
Yeah.
Only because like I don't want to, obviously I don't want to rush through the game.
No.
I want to make progress and keep moving forward. I think
Which I'm actually really happy that you're doing, man, because I'll tell you something, I was really worried that you were gonna like just rush it for the sake of rushing through the game.
Yeah.
But I'm actually happy that you're actually taking your time. Because the more you take your time and the more you kind of focus, the intricacies in the game, like developing your character and also getting those stats up, and as you take your time looking at and developing your relationships with characters, you're going to find it so much easier when you reach the end.
Yeah, and like things like personas too, like people like, you know, if you breeze through and just stick with like your one dude, like you have to infuse, or you have to like sacrifice personas at some point because it makes you do it as a tutorial. But
yeah,
like getting different abilities and like exploring, finding chests, like raising your proficiencies and your confidence, like I don't think I would have found it as easy as I have so far had I not spent the time to raise like those stats.
Yeah.
So it's it definitely has helped. Although like a lot of it is, I feel like a lot of it's passive. So you don't really, it doesn't never really, some of it at least I haven't seen happen immediately. Although I did just get a new ability with Morgana, I think, where
of course,
I think it was
your favorite character.
Yeah, I think it was Morgana, and it's like, oh, that's right, I was talking to Morgana on the bed. That was the other confidant.
Okay, yeah.
So I knew I had another one. I couldn't recall who it was.
That's right.
And now, like, if I don't finish off an enemy, or if I don't defeat an enemy, or if I miss an attack with Senpai, Morgana has a chance to just follow up.
Yeah.
So that's like a new ability. So it's not like a guaranteed thing, but like it's a new benefit that I have to that confidant.
All right. Let's jump back a little bit to Madarame's palace again. Now, through it, so obviously you had the first part and the second part of the palace. Did you find anything disjointed between the two? Like when you had your first playthrough, you said, I'm only about halfway through. And then you played the second half just before. Did you find it disjointing when it changed all of a sudden when you got to that distortion? Or did you find it that... Because you said, I loved the look of it. I love the layout and everything of it, right? Because it reminded you of your Destiny thing.
Hell yeah, Callus's Palace, man.
basically from it all, did you find any disjointment between the two segments at all, like from the first part to the second part at all? Because you loved it, obviously, because it reminded you of Destiny 2.
I actually didn't. It like the whole staircase thing. I actually really liked the I feel like I got through it pretty easily. Like it wasn't hard, like apart from like a couple of fights, but I didn't find it was I didn't find it out of place. If anything, like the one thing in that whole phase of the palace that I found like not out of place, but like remarkably different was the painting bit. Where it's like where you're jumping through, like you had to jump into one painting and then like go through the next and find the puzzle to get like to the right spot, and like don't walk down this part of the boat, there's an octopus. You sure it's safe? Yeah, sure it's fine. Octopus knocks you out and then you fall down and fight bad boys on the ground instead. It's like there's so many that bit was different. I mean, it makes sense because it's paintings, but that was the only different mechanic that I was just kind of like, this is not weird, just different. It kind of felt out of place because it was all like, I think it might have been the scaffolding and the scenario and like everything was super shiny gold and amazing, and this is almost like the backstage, sort of like behind the scenes.
Yes, yeah.
So it felt different. It just felt different compared to what I was used to.
Right. Now, was the only negative that you found basically the like as you said before the boss fight in it?
Pretty much, yeah. Like I feel like I got through most of the palace pretty smoothly. I haven't really had like apart from like the boss fight that I had trouble with a few times. Like I figured that out in the end. I got my strat down, and like I cleared that in the end. But I didn't really have any other troubles. I feel like you're digging for something. Is there something that you had a trouble with or you didn't like that you feel like
I'm digging, but I'm not. I don't want to tell you.
No, I mean I want to hear it because like I've finished it now. I can't go back. The palace is gone. I'm not going to go back and play.
No, because it's deeper. It gets deeper, so I can't tell you.
Oh right, so it's maybe more to do with like future stuff as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you will find out.
Okay.
And I've been trying to dig a little bit with this, have you noticed at all? So this is now where I'm going to get a little deeper with you. Have you noticed at all as you've been playing? When you reach those bosses at all, the names of these bosses at all? Like, I know that you've noticed that Madarame, Shadow Madarame, and their names, like Sojiro Kamoshida is obviously his full name. Have you noticed that when you enter a boss fight, that his name changes at all?
I mean, it got longer. I didn't read his full name at the time.
You did notice it got longer.
I noticed he had like his full name in there. Like it was that's his full, like his real world, like full name, right?
No.
That's not.
So his real full world name is Sojiro Kamoshida.
That's it. Oh, okay. Because that wasn't it? There was like a little bit in the middle. Wasn't that his full name, or is it not?
So let's touch a little bit on back. Let's rewind back because we're going back now to Kamoshida's palace. Obviously on stream you're seeing Kamoshida here. So there it is. There you just took a quick glimpse of it. There's a Sojiro Asmodeus Kamoshida is his metaverse name. Okay. So the one thing that I'm now going to tell you about to kind of go a little bit deeper into this game without spoiling anything.
Yeah.
So this here, I'm going to pull it up now for you guys and for you, Holmesy. This here is a god, a false god called Asmodeus, or Asmodeus.
Oh, damn. Yeah, he looks real similar.
All right. It does, doesn't it? So let me read it to you what this is, okay? Asmodeus is a king of demons, or in Jewish or Islamic law, the king of earthly spirits. Mostly known for his... okay, I can't read that word. Something of the Book of Tobit, in which he is the primary antagonist. The demon is also mentioned in some Talmudic legends, for instance, in the story of the construction of the Temple of Solomon. He was supposed by some Renaissance Christians to be the king of the 9 hells. Asmodeus is also referred to as one of the 7 princes of hell. In Binsfeld's classification of demons, each one of the princes represents one of the 7 deadly sins: lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride. Before we keep going. Asmodeus is the demon of lust, and is therefore responsible for twisting genitals inside out, as seen in the books. Yeah, this is a little bit in the Book of Tobias, especially. You see how he is also said to be on Earth after millions of years in hell. So what they're saying is Asmodeus is on Earth right now, right?
Okay.
So it is also said that Asmodeus, or the devil on 2 sticks, who fall in Asmodeus, will be sentenced to all eternity in the 2nd level of hell. So that is Asmodeus. Holmesy, have you now picked up on what's going on?
Yeah, we're basically fighting like the 7 deadly sins in the metaverse. Is that kind of what's going on here? Or
maybe. So
cool.
Now, I have pulled up as well the classification, the Binsfeld's classification of demons, right? So the second boss that you've run into is obviously Madarame. However, his name is Azazel, right? In Hebrew, appears in the Bible as a scapegoat, right? There is no there's nothing that clarifies him as one of the 7 deadly sins, though. He is classified here. Cyril in Christian commentary, Cyril of Alexandria sees him as a foretype of Christ. Azazel identifies with Satan. So basically, you're kind of getting there, right? Now, Binsfeld classification of demons has Asmodeus as lust. However, it's got Lucifer as pride, Mammon as greed, Leviathan as envy, Beelzebub as gluttony, Satan as wrath, and Belphegor as sloth. Now, each one of those names, what do they represent?
Oh, they're all demons, right?
They're all demons, right?
Yeah.
And pretty much all those nicknames that you see there are the devil.
Right.
Okay. So Azazel would be classified under that as well, but I'm not sure which, because each one of them has a different name anyway.
I always, like, based on what you just said, like, my mind immediately went to Madarame being greed, because he's doing it all for like money and fame.
You'd be surprised.
But that's obviously, like, there's more I've got to learn, obviously.
Yes.
But like, that's super interesting.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned greed, but anyway, I'm not going to say anything yet. But so essentially, have you now like kind of realized what's happened from like what I've just told you? Has a little bit of glass shattered in your head right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember when I brought this game to you, the first thing I said to you is, Holmesy, you're going to be touching. There's going to be a little bit of touching religion in this as well.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I didn't pick up on this until my last playthrough.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, I did not pick up on these names until I played it, and I was looking at them on the screen. And as I picked it up and I saw Kamoshida's middle name, I was like, hold on a second. Like, I don't know about that. And because when you go to the real world and you talk to him, that name doesn't appear until he turns into...
Yeah. I noticed, like, Madarame's name was like, man, he's got a real long name. I was just like, I didn't read it because I saw Madarame at the end and was like, it's Madarame, it's a real long name. But I didn't pay attention to it. I'm just like, get this fight over with.
Right. That's the thing. A lot of people that do play RPGs, obviously, they go into it and they're like, oh, whatever. I'm not really paying attention to the name. However, it's a case where the small little intricacies come into it again, and as you don't notice it until like what's happening, it kind of just hits you afterwards, you know?
Yep.
And this has obviously just hit you now that I've told you this.
Yeah.
So,
oh man, this sucked. So sorry, I'm just seeing the paint.
Yeah, that's right.
Man. This paint bit sucked so much.
Yeah, I never understood this part. What we're seeing on screen right now, guys, is the part where Madarame covers the pro tags in paint, in the black paint. So it was one of those weird ones. Like, we'll discuss that actually. Like, some of the powers that some of these bosses give off can be a little OP sometimes.
Yeah, well, this is what I was talking about with like the buff and debuff thing. Like, it gets the chance to debuff you with paint, so you're weak to everything. Like, everything basically gives him a guaranteed 2 hits. So he's weak there, and he gets a one more attack. Then he gets a debuff for defense down. And then he can also raise the attack on the mouth. So there's like 3 different debuffs and debuffs in one like slew of actions. And I saw like Ryuji was actually one of my core characters because he had what was the attack called again? Is it Barrage or something like that? I think.
Yep, Barrage. Yep.
Barrage like hits all. Like, I used that and like I knew it healed the mouth. I was like whatever about that, but like it did even damage to like both the eyes and the nose at the same time. So he was my rock. Like that dude did all my physical damage, and everyone else just like spam magic the second round. But like that ruined me a lot of the time. Like that paint and debuff buff screwed things up several times.
I'm so glad that you've said that because I remember talking about this last time to you as well. Who your favorite character was to use? You liked Ryuji as his character. Who is your favorite character to use right now? Is it Ryuji?
It is, and it is. Yeah. I do like him, but also I'm starting to lean more towards like using Senpai as well. Because like
Yusuke, or
I haven't got Yusuke in my party, although I'm thinking of swapping him out for Morgana. Depends.
Okay.
I gotta have a look though and see what abilities he has because like Morgana's good for like support and stuff. Yeah. But he doesn't have a lot of health.
What's that? I can swap out Morgana. Fucking get out.
Yes, straight away. I haven't really used Yusuke too much, but I would like to because he's got good weapons now too. Like I've upgraded his stuff, so I've all 5 are like kitted. The other thing I realized, which I'm glad I figured out in that bit with the paint, is if you guard with your painted character, then the first hit doesn't count as a crit damage attack, or it doesn't count as like a weak attack, so they don't get a second attack on top of that. So every time I got paint on me, I'm just like, okay, make them guard. It's like a nice little, not hack, but it's just like a nice little thing to figure out to make things easier for me instead of losing characters and using revive tokens all the time.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I was going to also ask you, so actually, hold on, before we do. Yeah. So one thing I was going to bring up was, Twitch streamer Wet for Jesus?
I don't.
Okay, so there is a Twitch streamer called Wet for Jesus. He's quite popular on Twitch at the moment. He's one of the Twitch partners.
Yeah.
I randomly was stumbled across him on Twitch on front page a couple of weeks ago, I should say. He was streaming Persona 5 for the first time. So he was in the same phase you were in our first episode. He was in Kamoshida's palace.
Oh, no way.
And the frustration on his face, Holmesy, I remember speaking to you for the first time, and I could see it straight away. I'm like, it's exactly the same as when Holmesy was playing his first palace. Yeah. Exactly the same. And one of the things he was saying was, So like I said to him, I popped in his chat. And I've seen Where for Jesus before on You Game Bro with Pez and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he's been a guest in the past on You Game Bro, and I popped in and I said, hey, Where for Jesus, Dash, I'm a friend of Pez. I'd like to tell you that you are playing the first palace, which can be a little tedious and a little bit time consuming. Just stick out with the grind, because I tell you, once you pass that first palace, you will definitely get into it. And was sitting there, and the responses he was giving me was exactly the same as you were telling me when you first played it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so grindy. It's so... I don't know what to do with this. I mean, it's not like any games I've played before. It's not really what I'm into.
It's very different.
It is very different. Now, that's what I'm going to come to you now, because now you've passed that hurdle. You've passed that hurdle, you've passed Kamoshida, and now you've just passed Madarame.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling now?
Still the same as like the last fight. Like when I finished, I mean, like I don't know that I felt the same level of reward beating Madarame as I did Kamoshida, because Kamoshida was a chore, man.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I feel like they could have done better, and I'll keep coming back to it, is that if they made that one bit shorter, it'd be an easier game to get into. But
right.
Defeating Madarame, I still felt stoked. I'm like, hell yeah, like no, that was a hard fight to get past. I did it. But it didn't take as long, so there wasn't that extra level of like relief being like done with it. Now I'm just like, I want to find out what's next. Like there's
do you feel that sense of you want to know what's next?
Yeah, absolutely. Because like there's the investigation, like there's the principal of the school trying to get the class president to try and like figure out like what's going on and what our group's doing. She's like, she has
Yep.
she knows she has her suspicions or her suspects, but she just can't get proof of what we're doing. And there's like so many little characters whose names we don't know as well. Like the bald guy with the beard, like he's just like the director of some like company that you see. Like I can't remember what I can't remember how he's described, but like there's this guy that pops up in like little videos every now and then, and you bump.
Are you talking about the bald guy? Oh, the bald guy
with the goatee. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, him. Like, and he bumped into Ryuji when we went to that fancy restaurant too. He like barged him out of the way and was like super rude.
Yep.
So I've seen him a couple of times in the game, but there's characters that we don't know a lot about, and the same with the what I'll assume is the police officer, or like the lady that's interrogating us. Like,
Sai Nijima. Yep.
Yeah, we see her at the end of the game, obviously, like end game, like end timeline. Sorry, like interviewing us. But then you also see her in Sojiro's coffee shop, and it's like
Yep.
What relationship is there? Like, how there's so many little like things that you want to learn about that we just don't know about yet. So
yeah,
there's a lot to find out.
Is it are you invested? Like, are you invested in what's happening? So, like, for example, those little little stories that are happening right now. Are you do you want to know what happens there?
I do. I definitely do.
Cool.
Like, it's not like I'm invested in the sense that I'm interested in knowing what's coming up next. I'm not like, now that I've stopped playing the game for today, like I played a little bit before the podcast to get up to speed.
Yep.
But like once we're done with the podcast today, like up until like the next episode that we do, like it won't be on my mind every day, being like, who called Sojiro, like, what's going on with the volleyball team? Like there's like different things like in my head, like constantly. I'm not constantly thinking about the game, but I am keen to know what comes up next. So I would say I am invested, yeah.
That's good. So the good news is that everything that you've just brought up is involved heavily with the game. So the questions from the cop that she goes to the bar, to Sojiro, the cafe, I should say. So all those kind of things there are lead ups.
Yeah,
everything. They don't waste your time.
I figured there was little like that. That's my exact thought process. Was like, these wouldn't be here if they didn't mean something. Surely. Yeah,
and they're major. Like it's nothing that you're going to run into and go, "Oh, was that all?" So it's good. I'm loving that you've actually now taken notice of some of that stuff too. Because obviously some of them are in your face because some of them are cutscenes and all that. But some of them you'll run into, just exploring Shibuya and outside of Shibuya as well. That will lead you into bigger things. So obviously, like as we've got in the background here, green screen behind us is Mementos. Different things in Mementos as well will lead you outside of the metaverse, and kind of you'll run into those things outside in the real world too. Obviously, Mementos is a representation of what's happening outside in the real world, but it's also what you're going to be running into soon.
All right.
Okay, I'll recall back to the first episode, just to kind of give a refresher. Mementos is the last level of the game, right? But you're doing it now.
Yeah.
I
know there's the Reaper in there too, which I haven't come across yet.
I have. I came across my first playthrough. I came across the Reaper twice.
How'd you go?
Not good. I died twice. It's hard.
You can beat him though, right?
Yeah, you can, but you have to be good.
Like leveled, yeah.
Oh yeah, you have to be leveled to beat the Reaper. If you run in there and you get the Reaper on your first like run in, it's like you're fucked.
Yeah. As soon as I saw like the mention of like if you hear chains, like, you know, GTFO, yeah. I'm just like, oh man, please no chains, please no chains.
Holmesy, I think that's about it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We can wrap her up there.
Yeah, we can. I mean, look, my final question to you though is,
you know,
you gonna keep going?
No, go. You go. Ask away.
No. That is my question. Are you gonna keep going?
Oh, the game? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking if I was gonna keep going what I was talking about. Yes, yeah, of course I am. Yeah. We got more episodes to film, dude. We got more stuff to record about. I'm glad to hear that. I'm keen to keep playing the game though, definitely.
I'm so glad to hear that. I'm glad that you're actually invested now, because it was, as I said, I was worried when I gave you the game that it was going to be one of those things where you kind of dropped after like mid palace, and I kind of understood if you were going to, and I was hoping that you kind of muscled through it and everything, and I'm glad you did, because it's only, as I said, it's only getting better and better from here. You passed that second palace. And I'm glad that I kind of clarified the bosses a little bit for you in that religious sense.
Yeah, that's kind of cool to know. That is very cool to know.
Yeah, because now you're going to start learning some more shit. And as you keep going and going, like, I love how you're getting angry as well with some of these bosses. Personally.
Yeah.
You are going to get so fucking pissed as we keep going. It is so, but like in a good way.
All right.
It's like reading a book or watching a film. You know, like when you hate that character so much, it sells you.
Oh yeah. Oh, if you mean that kind of angry, then yeah, good. Yeah. If you mean like frustrated at like bosses healing themselves, then I don't want that.
No. You're gonna find. Look, my advice to you on that is keep grinding it. Get your stats up.
I think I'm gonna go back to Mementos before I play next as well. I'm gonna get in there and just like clear out some stuff. Do a Mementos grind in between episodes.
See what happens, but get your stats up. Also, try and talk to your confidants a little bit more. Build up your stats with them.
Yeah.
Build up your stats with them as well. My other piece of advice is find out what's going on around Shibuya and Central Street and everything else in the city and all that. Find more confidants as you go, because and as you build those, you build your stats, and also gain more with your proficiencies and all this other stuff, you know, so you'll be able to find the more confidence you have, the better.
Okay.
So that's my final piece of advice for now, until we speak about this the next time.
Soon.
Yeah. Holmesy. This has been good.
Yeah, no, I am looking forward to the next step. This has been, made a lot of progress today as well, so all in the last week, so I'm keen to make some more. Yeah.
Hey, guys, that's about it for this week. So if you didn't know, this has been Dash and Holmesy Take Your Hearts. Make sure you follow Holmesy over on Twitter and on Twitch, both at HolmesyIn5. You can follow me on Twitter at Dash Gamers. Also, follow me on... Oh, you can follow us over on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/DashAndHolmesy, but also go to dashandholmesy.com. It'll take you directly to the SoundCloud for now. Also on iTunes, where you can give us a cheeky 5-star rating and review, but you can also catch us every 3 weeks with our hungry family on 8bit.net. You can also catch me on Dash Culture every 2 weeks with my co-host Buddy Watson. But make sure you pop back here every 3 weeks and give us a listen to see where Holmesy's up to in Persona 5. Holmesy.
Ew.
Yeah, what a good episode, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll see you in 3 weeks. Much love.
Stay hungry.